Hey.
Hey, you. Listening.
You know what you're listening to?
Do they know what they're listening to? You don't even know what you're listening to, do you, folks?
I don't even know what we're listening to.
Who are you?
Justin.
Who am I?
Matt.
I'm Matt.
This is a fucking jam show.
Jam out, baby.
What's up?
Thanks for coming here. We know you want to be better. We know you're doing okay, though. This is where you come to get your information. Anything you hear here,
100%
here,
factual.
Here.
It's better than Anthony Fauci because we are science.
Anything you hear on this program, we try to make as factual as possible.
But it's 100% educational only.
Yes, it's for entertainment purposes.
That's a disclaimer our lawyers told us that we had to say.
We
fucking
had to pay out big bucks for an episode in the past, so now we have to do this.
Yeah. What a fucking bummer.
Anyway. But we try to be as factual as possible and bring you information maybe you didn't know, or if you're like me, you hate checking out the news.
There's so much shit going on, you're going to miss something, right?
For sure.
So we're going to bring you something.
Yeah, we're just hitting on some topics. And
something that you missed, possibly. Maybe not.
Or maybe, yes, something that you missed that maybe you want to look more into. But yeah, we just find some stuff that we think is interesting. First, I think it's important to fucking get a little zen, get a little into ourselves.
So what's up? How you been?
I've been all right. I had a cat die.
Oh, dude, R.I.P.
Yeah.
I could feel the energy as soon as I came in the room.
Dr. Satan, one of the long-lived podcasts.
R.I.P., dude.
It was a real bummer.
That's Podcat, dude?
Yeah, both podcasts are gone.
Wow, dude, way to bum out. You should have saved that for the end.
Across the Rainbow Bridge.
Dude, Podcat, R.I.P.
But, so,
bummer.
Dr. Satan was my wife's cat of like 16 years, I want to say.
Shit.
Old cat. Great cat, dude. This cat
lived a long life.
Oh, a great life, too. Lived on a farm for like 7 years. And then when he came here, he was running around catching mice, ground squirrels, birds.
It was like an indoor-outdoor cat, right?
Yeah.
Wow, lived a great life.
Dude, he knew everybody in the neighborhood.
My cat is so jealous. My cat is beyond jealous of your cat right now.
And when he was going downhill, we took him to the vet and ended up putting him down. And my wife, took him home, made, a flower arrangement around him. We dug a hole at her dad's farm, put him in there, and planted a bush on top. It was, all my pets that I've ever had cremated. I still had the remains. But this is really making me rethink that. You know? It was so beautiful and intentional that I really respect my wife for it. It's one of the reasons why I for sure love her.
What do you think the fascination with burning bodies is? You know what I mean?
I think it's like the poor man's grave. You know, graves cost a lot of money. Got to get a stone, but in this way that you can have them forever.
Oh, dude, I remember when my mom passed away. It was like such an expense. The funeral was.
Yeah. For
my dad, it was like.
Buried or cremated?
Cremated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does anybody still have the remains? You spread them, or?
No, they're just buried. There's a plaque. They're buried up on the graveyard on John Deere Road, catty corner from Farm and Fleet.
That's where my grandparents are buried.
No way.
Yeah. I just
wild.
went up there this weekend, and the one thing I really got from my dad was he would go up there once a year or so. Cut down all the grass that was starting to grow over.
My sister was actually just talking about wanting to go there this weekend, I think. Because it was my mom's birthday this past couple of weeks ago now, I guess.
Yeah.
Time flies so fast, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. And you've always kind of seemed like, I guess I would hate to use the word over it, but you seem like you've really moved on just because it happened so long ago.
Well, I've accepted it, I guess. It took a long... somebody told me a long time ago that time is the only thing that will heal it, essentially, and literally that's the only thing. It's just you just find ways to dealing with it, and coping with it. I guess I'm not sure.
I think accepting is definitely a really good word. I lost my dad in 2015, right before my wedding,
brutal.
6 months before my wedding or whatever, and yeah, it's like I have so many regrets and maybe even resentments, for sure, even resentments.
Oh, definitely. Because I feel like I don't even know my mom. You know what I mean? So it's like I didn't get to know her as an adult or anything. So it's like, I mean, I barely have like fleeting memories now. You know what I mean? They're like grasping at the edges of them now. So it's it's weird. It's weird.
You could use a little bit more estrogen in your life, though. So
some more estrogen.
Yeah, that's kind of a
I
bummer.
guess. I suppose it probably would have done me good.
You went to Wisconsin?
Oh yeah, Madison, dude. It was a fucking great time.
Yeah,
dude.
did you eat anywhere? Do anything?
Oh, dude, we ate it. So we stayed at this fucking bum ass hotel, which was, oh god, I'll never go to that hotel again.
You sent me a picture, and we don't need to get into that yet. But
Oh,
I almost thought it was from the hotel, and I was like, oh, that's a bump.
No, that was even a bigger bummer. And we'll save that for later.
Yeah.
But went to Madison, rented some electric bikes, cruised around.
Because that's
Madison's like super bike friendly.
That's cool.
Like they have when you're driving, it's almost like to a fault.
Yeah,
dude, it's like there's so many bikes. I'm like, I fucking like I fully stopped at a stop sign, and this fucking biker guy was like yelling at me because I didn't go fast enough, and he had to stop.
So you told me you went to a couple of pizza joints.
Pizza Bruta was the name of one of them. Little hole in the wall joint.
Okay.
It's fucking. It was Neapolitan.
And that's like the kind of the crispy crust.
It's like the way it's cooked too.
Is it in like a brick oven, or
have you ever had? There's like a little food truck, like
Smash Pizza.
No, Kelly Girls, I think was one of them. The other one was Wood Fire Grill, I think.
I've been to Wood Fire. Are you thinking of Streets of Italy?
Streets of Italy.
Yes,
I think that one was also. I think they also make the same style. Of that.
Okay, I could see that.
Where it's like the crust is like a lighter, fluffier crust.
Mm-hmm.
It's fire, dude. Beats the shit out of Quad City style pizza. I don't know about how your feeling is on Quad City style pizza.
Dude, Quad City style pizza is super hit or miss for me. If I'm getting Quad City style pizza, it's for sure just a standard sausage, maybe with mushrooms, maybe with onions, black olives. But I'm not getting Quad City pepperoni or anything like that.
That's heartburn fucking city, dude.
Oh, pepperoni pizza?
Yeah.
Well, and Quad City style can easily just be like not. I don't know if it's not cooked enough. It can just be too much and just falls right apart.
And like the quality of sauce is like, I feel like it's like a super processed sauce where the sauce that they use maybe on the other fucking pizzas, like, or sometimes they don't even use a pizza sauce, right?
On other pizzas?
It's like olive oil on that, like Streets of Italy style pizza. It's like olive oil and like pesto,
and like sometimes just like big hunks of cheese as opposed to like shredded.
Yes,
and shit. Yeah, I think there's definitely something to be said about.
Oh, I'm fucking so hungry, dude.
Like New York and Detroit and Chicago style pizzas, like they're staples in the pizza industry. But Quad City style, I mean, I don't think it's the best pizza.
No,
but to me, sometimes nothing beats a good Quad City style.
I don't know. I miss Bella Sofia. That was like a pizza by the slice joint that was open in Silvis for a little bit.
Oh, really?
They had like mac and cheese pizza. It was fucking. I mean, it was like their crust almost reminded you of like a saltine cracker.
Really?
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
Will you ever eat at Nancy's Pizza when I was over in East Moline?
Nancy's Pizza.
It was like they did Chicago style, but they also did like a cracker thin crust.
Oh, I don't think.
And they had great big sausages. I used to work there when I was 16.
Fuck yeah!
And first of all, favorite job ever. But like, honestly, I loved the pizza too.
I worked at Happy Joe's for a little bit, and that fucking sucked, dude.
Yeah, you had to do the cooking because you weren't a girl.
I did do cooking. Yep, a lot of oven work.
A lot of oven work.
I never really had to do dishes, though. That was kind of sweet. My least favorite thing was refilling the giant tub of sauerkraut. Just
sauerkraut's gross as
fuck. It comes in a 5-gallon bucket, dude. So just imagine.
So you pop the lid off.
Yeah,
it's
just like
sauerkraut.
And it's in a freezer, so it's like clean. There's not really much other smells going on. And it's just like, I don't know. I know sauerkraut's super good for you, but
yeah. What's that other shit? Kimchi, yeah.
Kimchi.
I've always wanted to try it, but
you can buy it like Hy-Vee and Walmart.
You know what? I did have it one time at Noodle House on Avenue of the Cities.
I buy it all the time.
Yeah. Do you really?
Yeah.
You like it?
I just eat it with a fork.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're supposed to do with it. Sometimes I put it on food that I don't know if it goes with necessarily.
I could see you getting like a wrap tortilla type thing and stuffing it in there.
I think I've put it on a deer steak before.
Yeah. And I think the kimchi I got was kind of spicy.
Yes, they have spicy kimchi. That's what I was going to say. I think Brad gave me a bottle of spicy kimchi one day.
Yeah, did he make it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but dude, what I was also going to say is we went to a couple ice cream joints.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they have like this place called the Chocolate Shop, which is kind of like a Whitey's. It was like Lauren was sitting there comparing the flavors that they have, and it's almost like
identical.
Dude, it's exact. Like even the descriptions are the same. So it makes me think. I'm like, is there some dude out there selling a course that telling you how to set up a fucking ice cream joint?
It could be Whitey's. You know, Whitey's could have a course on how to do it.
And they just like franchise it out. But dude, the ice cream was way different.
Really?
No, dude, not 100% different than Whitey's.
Yeah. What's your go-to ice cream?
From Whitey's?
Anywhere.
Oh, dude.
I'm essentially just a straight chocolate guy.
See, I think chocolate ice cream is no good.
Get the fuck out of my house.
I think it's no good. It tastes just like I don't know. I love chocolate though.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like for me, if it's not chocolate, it's not candy.
Okay.
Right? So all that fucking fake garbage bullshit.
It's pre-cavity meal.
All that shit is just garbage. Other than chocolate.
I would be pretty close to agreeing with you.
But then when you comes to ice cream, I don't know, for some reason like the taste of chocolate ice cream just is like throws me off. So like normally what Oreo
Oreo
they has something called Oreo Dreams or some shit.
Yeah.
Fucking bomb.
Is cookies and cream just Oreo? They just can't call it Oreo?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like a trademark thing.
Yeah.
And then they had a blueberry cheesecake, I think.
Okay.
A blueberry cheesecake bomb.
Yeah.
Lauren got...
Did you try like every flavor?
No. I just went in and ordered exactly what I wanted.
Okay.
But Lauren got something called Blue Moon, which is basically what Smurf is at.
Okay.
Which, you know what that's supposed to taste like?
No.
It's like supposed to taste like the bottom of a bowl of Fruity Pebbles. Or not Fruity Pebbles, but Lucky Charms, I think.
Oh.
Or Fruit Loops. Fuck, I can't remember now. God damn it.
Fruity Pebbles sounds the most realistic to me, but it could be any one of those.
God damn it, anyway.
So you were saying there was a bunch of bikes riding around and stuff. Were they mostly like city bikes? Were they...
Dude, there were some fat fucking rigs there, dude.
Yeah?
Every type of rig you could possibly think of. Like, road bikes, fucking every converted electric bike you could think of, full-on fat tire bikes, electric bikes.
I'd fit right in.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, dude. It was like, dude, Matt would be hogging around this bitch. Except you wouldn't get into any car accidents there, probably, because they have dedicated bike lanes everywhere.
Normally, I'm the one hitting the cars.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, no, you probably would have run into me. But no, it was crazy. We rented some bikes through that B-Cycle app.
B-Cycle? That sounds right.
Which it was like $5 for 30 minutes, and which it wasn't bad. The bikes
were you able to get places in 30 minutes?
Well, I mean, we cruised around for like an hour. So
is it like the scooters where you just like scan it and like unlocks it or whatever?
Well, it's like you pull up the app on your phone and it just like shows you all the stations.
Oh, they're like all kind of locked up and you pull it out.
Yeah. And then you go around and there's like, 8 stations. So you go up. And fucking here, I'm gonna pull it up and show it to you. No, I'm not.
Don't do that. Yeah.
But yeah, you just go up, and you have to. What you have to double check though is go around and check the battery on all.
Ooh, that's smart.
Because some of them are like 1 bar.
Yeah.
2
Somebody
bar.
just fucking rode it across.
Yeah, literally. Because I checked, like me and her were at, because there was a station like right by our hotel, and there was only like 2 bikes there. We're like, oh fuck, we better hurry. But then by the time we got there was like fucking 8 bikes there. And I was like, wait a minute. So I started checking the batteries on some of them. And some of them, 2 of them were dead all the way.
Somebody like walked them there. Well, I guess you can still ride it like
you can still ride it like regular bike, but they are kind of heavy.
Yeah.
They're not.
Oh, dude.
And no suspension on these things. So it's just, I was like, oh my God. I can't remember the last time I rode a bike with no suspension.
Yeah, you have a pretty nice mountain bike, right?
And I was like, dude, yeah, it's a couple of them actually. Yeah. But so now that Lauren's rode.
Yep.
An electric bike, electric pedal assist, which she really enjoyed. She wants to get a couple of them now. So I'm going to convert the 2 mountain bikes that we have.
That's what's up.
Just getting a cheap, I think I'm just going to get her a cheap Bafang type, the front hub style.
That ain't cheap.
Cheap enough compared to some systems. My brother's bike, or my dad's bike.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to get a conversion for it, it's best to get like a hub motor. Because it's like, with everything, the battery's the most expensive. It's going to cost you $300 to $500 for the battery. But a hub motor kit is only like $180.
Well, I found a whole thing with battery and everything on Amazon for $400.
That sounds about right.
So with the battery and everything, I was like, shit. So that's
get
not
2
bad.
of them. Yep.
Well, I'm gonna give myself a little bit of a better one because mine's for hunting.
So what you're gonna look for is voltage. No,
I'll send you the link for the one I'm looking at.
Amp hour is how far you can go. Wattage is how fast you can go.
Right.
And voltage generally determines the span of each. Like if you get a 36 volt, you can get up to like 1,000 watts. If you get a 48 volt, you can get up to like 2,000 watts and stuff like that.
What is the specs on your rig? You remember?
48 volt. Want to say 2,000 watts. And I want to say 15 amp hour.
Decent.
Yeah.
My brother just, I think I was told you, I don't know if I said anything last time about it or not, but my brother got a rainbow bike.
I think you had sent me some stuff, and I think you did tell me he got it. I didn't remember any of that.
Yeah, dude, that thing fucking rips.
The more I ride mine, I'm like, I kind of wish I got like a pre-built bike.
Because, dude, that thing is slick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all the cable runs inside the frame, dude.
That's
I'm like,
so nice.
I'm like, God, that is so nice. It's so worth paying a little bit more for a bike that does that.
Plus, it's kind of nice having a warranty if you get one.
Yeah, no, that's what he said too. He's like, it is nice having a warranty because, well, one thing that we did do is we looked up. Apparently, you can. There's a speed limiter on it, and that's the only thing that's. Because for hunting, it can only be like 750 watts or something like that.
That's like the highest you can get for paths.
Oh, riding on bike paths and shit? Yeah. It's like, for DNR, it's like for state land. That's the most powerful you can get.
Yeah, it's like the state limits you around here, I think in Illinois at least.
But so the motor and battery, it's the same thing as the 1,000 or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so all we did is put a little piece of electrical tape on one of the pins in the connector, which blocks the speedometer signal essentially. And I forgot what the change in top speed was, but it went from like, I don't know, like 22 to like 30 or something. It was my brother was like, "Oh no, I can't do that."
Did you take it off?
He took it back off.
Dude, going 25 on a bicycle
it's plenty.
Is fast.
Yeah. No, that thing. And if you pedal, I mean, you're fucking ripping.
Yeah.
If you're going downhill, you're fucking,
Yeah, imagine going downhill like 30 miles an hour.
And it's like, I swear you can feel the weight of those bikes. Like that thing weighs like 70 pounds.
They're heavy.
And it's like, I don't know what it is about, like, you can just feel the weight of it. It almost feels like a little motorcycle or something, like a little dirt bike, essentially, like a 50cc. Like, you can just feel the thing has a mass compared to, like, a BMX bike where you can fucking, you can feel like you could jump and, flip off the thing or, and the thing's not going to crush you or something.
Dude, there were so many times riding back from the old spot where, like, I forgot to charge it. My battery's dead.
You probably know better than anybody.
Oh, yeah. Dude, there was one time I left work in it had just torrential downpoured. Luckily, it stopped, but I rode through a puddle, and my fucking Bafang got wet.
Oh, no.
And, it didn't, short it out and hurt it, but I wonder if like maybe the clutch got wet and wouldn't
It was
catch,
slipping.
and so I had to pedal it home from like the beginning of work.
Ugh.
It was so miserable.
You still have that hog?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah. You think you get it all fixed up and ready to go?
It's for sure ready to go. There's a couple of things I'd like to do with it. But now that it's consistently nice out, I'm hoping to ride it to work.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
What's that ride time looking like?
Ride time. I think it'll be pretty similar. It might add maybe 5 to 10 extra minutes, but I'm also going to be going like straight up Brady. So I think I'll have to figure a way to kind of cut in and out over, I'll go over 74, I think. And then I'm wondering if I can go up to middle and then take Kimberly up.
Because where is it? What?
It's between the old and new Menards in Davenport, right off the highway.
God damn.
Yeah.
God damn, there ain't no easy way to get there.
No. Well, and it's like I just got to ride it a couple of times and find that one road.
I was going to say go through the East Village and go up through that way, but that's not going to get you there.
Well, and it's
Eastern.
You got to kind of figure out where you want to put the most energy. Are you going to try to get a long, low-sloped hill, or are you trying to buzz up a really short, steep hill and then have pretty flat riding?
Damn, son.
Yeah. I was just thinking about the other day, there was one day I left work on my bike and rode Duck Creek all the way over to just on the other side of 74. And, dude, it was just so much fun.
Well, I think I've run that before.
Yeah, I bet.
I think I've run that. Yeah,
it's just like a lot of woods and shit.
Yeah,
like
dude, that's
that.
actually I never realized how long and cool that bike path is. But yeah, that's pretty cool.
And it was during like the middle of the day because my kid had a doctor appointment over there, and so I was just like fucking zipping and.
Dude, it's like the dream to just have a house along that bike path and then have a job at Cobham.
Oh, dude,
you know what I mean? Just so you could just ride your bike straight to work. That's like so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Reminds me of like Kelowna, how like you can. Like basically all the kids almost in Kelowna can ride their bike to school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or I guess not all of them. It's really only like the good part of town. I don't know. I guess
there's a couple of
they can ride in from the backside. I take
like on
back.
Wolf Road.
Yeah. Yeah, they can ride in on that backside. I forgot there's like baseball fields and shit back there.
Let's get to the book.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So if you're new to the podcast, we're reading Don't Believe Everything You Think by Joseph Wynn. If you want to look that up, it's Nguyen, Wynn. We are on chapter 12. It's a pretty short one. So we'll start with chapter 12. Nothing is either good or bad. The quote at the top of the chapter, as is every chapter, there's a quote. There is nothing either good or bad about thinking. There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. William Shakespeare.
Ooh. Spicy.
And that's the perfect quote for this whole book, really.
Yeah.
Here's an analogy that helps to put in perspective. On a piano, there are 88 keys. When we look at a piano, we don't point out specific keys for no reason and say that key is wrong. We only think a specific key is wrong if we think someone is playing a specific song and hits a key that isn't in the song. Just like that, how there are no wrong keys on a piano, there are no wrong decisions in life. There's only thinking that gives us pleasant or not so pleasant feelings. And I was kind of feeling like that today. I forgot what I had said earlier.
No, but that quote, I mean, God, if the wrong person read that, they'd be like, there's no such thing as a bad decision.
Yeah. If you look at the far end of the spectrum,
right.
Definitely murder is a bad one. But for 99% of the people,
most people who read this, good people.
Yeah. It's like if you're hiking on a mountain and stop at specific points to look at the beautiful view. There are no wrong spots that we can stop at, stand in, and take in the magnificence of nature. But by opening up to all possible spots we can stand in, we can see the view from different vantage points we haven't seen from before. which I think is a really good metaphor, because it's like when you're first starting out, you know, and you're trying to look through the trees, maybe you can't even see the mountain,
the game of life.
Yeah. But as you climb that mountain of life, you slowly get past the trees and you can see the things on the other side.
Build up skill points. You know how it goes, man.
Yeah, level up. Or, you know, if you cross a stream getting there and then you get a little higher, you see that stream comes from a lake or, you know, the mountain melting. And even higher, you can see other mountains that you can climb. You can see all possibilities from being at the top of a mountain. And it's so funny how when you're younger and in the forest, you know, you really only see what's right in front of you. And
you really do get like trapped in the moment sometimes, right?
And that reminds me of a comedian. He was talking about a kid at the zoo having a good time, and he loses his balloon, and his parents are like, "What are you crying about? It's just a balloon, you know." But imagine, like, that's everything to that little kid. It's like he doesn't own anything.
It's his entire world.
What he has and the clothes on his body. Imagine if your wallet just like slipped out of your pocket and just like floated away.
Dude, people would have mental breakdowns.
Yeah.
It's fucking, you just lose it.
Yeah, and even losing your wallet, you know, like the majority of those things can be replaced. But it just makes...
Not if you're carrying your Social Security card.
Well,
that's going to take some work.
Well, yeah, and that's what it is. You have the convenience of everything in your wallet. You have money at your fingertips.
Exactly.
Your credit card, your ID in case something happens. And just that losing that convenience, I think.
All a risk.
Yeah.
Right, carrying all that with you.
Yeah, which is all fear.
Ooh, yeah. Fear nothing, Matthew, fear
nothing. Back to the book. When we are gripped by negative emotions, it means that we believe what we are thinking. All you have to do is remember that thinking is the root cause of how we're feeling. Once this is brought into your awareness, don't fight the thinking. Just become aware that it is your thinking that's causing the ill feelings. Not too long after, you'll return to a natural state of peace, love, and joy. That's the end of chapter 12. And I was feeling that today. You know, I had messaged you that I was going to have to pick my kid up at 5.
Oh, yeah.
And there was no problem with that. You wouldn't have cared. But I remembered that I wasn't going to pick him up because he has a project to work on with a friend of his. And I was immediately like, that's a bummer I don't get to see him today, you know. But he's been my kid for 14 years, you know. And I'll see him tomorrow.
Grow up already.
And
get a job, dude.
And
I had a job at 14.
Did you really?
Maybe.
Well, you were working with your dad.
Well, I would work like odd jobs with my aunt, like shoveling fucking horse stalls.
Oh, okay.
And shit like that, cleaning up farms.
Real shit shoveling.
Yeah, real shit shoveling. That's what I grew up doing.
But what I was referencing is that my immediate reaction was thinking that I wasn't going to get my son today. And that was a bummer. But I would get to podcast, give me a little bit more freedom to do that. And then he'll get to hang out with a friend of his from school. So, you know, it's all about your perspective.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Which that, just talking about that shoveling horse shit on farms, remind me, like, there's always these fucking cool-ass cars sitting underneath these fucking barns. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, I wonder where those cars are at today.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Me and my wife were going out to Savannah, Illinois, and we kind of forgot to take a turn for our normal route.
Yeah.
And we had to use the GPS, and we just cut through.
Oh, Matthew got a little lost.
We just cut through a bunch of country roads, and it was cool just seeing shit.
Oh, dude, that's what I was gonna say. On the way back from Madison, I chose on my GPS to avoid tolls because I fucking cleaned all the change out of my car right before the vacation, and I didn't even think about it. I was like, oh fuck. And I'm sure you can pay it online, I think, now. Like, you just drive through it, and then they send you a ticket in the mail or something.
A lot of times you just stop at the first one, and you can get, like, a little brochure, and then you speed through the rest and pay online.
Oh, word. Yeah, I just drive through them now. But anyway,
go for
so I was trying to avoid them.
The license plates off and went.
Yeah, put the black covers on,
yeah.
the James Bond ones. but I missed one of the turns, and then we ended up just taking like country back roads all the way back from Madison, essentially.
That's kind of cool, though.
And yeah, it was pretty cool. Just driving through a fucking little town after little town. It wasn't bad. But anyway, what else have we got?
You want to do some news stuff?
Some newsy news? Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
I don't know how, but I ended up getting a bunch of like old shit.
Well, there's so much news happening all the time.
The time. I saw this kind of interesting experiment. It was for like discrimination.
Okay.
So these women all had special effects scars put onto their face, and then they were gonna go into interviews.
Okay.
To see how
I like where this is going.
To see how the interviewer would react to their scars.
Sexist fuck.
So they like put the scar on. They got to see how they looked, you know. And before they went into the interview, they all got their scars touched up, and when they touched them up, they completely removed them.
Okay.
So they were going in thinking they had fucked up faces, but they didn't. And when most of the women, when they came back from the interview, they were saying that they received discrimination in the interview.
Okay.
And that they even went so far as to say that they felt like the interviewer had made like slight comments about their scars.
Oh.
Which they didn't have in the interview.
Whoa.
And it was kind of like the whole experiment was for like, if you perceive a discrimination, it will cause you to feel discriminated.
Okay. Well, yeah. That makes sense.
And so like, you know, I don't, without knowing more.
It's like your boss walking by. It doesn't matter if you're working or not. It's if he perceives you're working.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's always perception. Dude, perception is everything.
Yeah.
It's just like the fucking government and us wearing masks. You remember? They were like, that was basically, it was a perception thing.
Yeah, we felt more comfortable.
We felt like we were doing something about it.
Yeah.
Wearing the little face masks. And
what's another thing like that? Like if your house is on fire or something, and then like you think you're doing something to help, or
I don't know, or fucking pissing on the fire.
yeah, mate. I mean, it's like it's all you can do, so I better fucking do it. You know,
I don't know. I'm trying to think of another example.
Like fucking bucket brigade type shit.
Yeah, I don't have anything else. Anyway,
you said there was something you wanted to talk about.
Oh yeah, so fucking the government. So I have a Reuters article.
What's Reuters?
Reuters is some fucking bullshit fucking news organization. Roto-Rooter, I think, is an offshoot. I think they're the same company. But they were saying that the headline is Pentagon accounting error overvalued their Ukraine weapons aid by $3 billion.
Overvalued it.
Overvalued.
So they sent, let's say they sent a tank over, and they were like, that tank costs $300 million, but it only costs $3 million.
So basically they were saying similar, something like that, but so they were, all of the aid that we've been sending, we've been valuing it at the cost it would cost the government to replace, for the U.S. taxpayer to replace it, essentially.
Okay.
Well, what they did was they depreciated the value over time. So, like, however old those things are.
Because we were sending them tanks that were already built.
Yeah, and we're old.
Yeah.
Essentially. Which, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
It's basically...
They're basically lying on their taxes.
Yes, essentially. So then now they can send them more aid.
So now they're going to do that.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I had seen, and I wish I would have read into it, I think aren't we sending people over there that we said that
we have people next to them, I believe. Yes, there are U.S. people over there right now.
It's just like, how much can they lie to us? It just doesn't make sense to me.
No, well, dude, the whole thing's, I think, a farce. It's so fucking weird. It's really weird.
Yeah,
like from the very beginning. Like, I believe this is just something I read in Crossing, is that the U.S. government knew to the hour or like to the day basically of when the Russians were going to invade Ukraine.
Yeah.
So then Russia moved it 12 hours earlier, so it was wrong, or something like some bullshit like that. It's like the whole thing just seems so like
and I had
this.
heard that we're just funding Ukraine just to beat the fuck out of Russia so that they can be weak. And I don't know if that implies that we're going to fuck with them afterwards.
We just don't. I feel like we just always have had some sort of a stank for Russia.
Oh, for sure.
Because they're fucking little commie bastards.
Yeah.
Fuckers, man. I don't know.
You can't police the world, man.
No, but if they're fuckers, I mean, you're going to go over there and fucking punch them in the throat or something.
I don't know.
Just a good throat punching is all they need. Like, look at Germany, dude. They're in line, right? All you had to do is Japan. They got in line, dude. All you got to do is beat them down to an absolute pulp. Take everything and then make them pay reparations for a long ass time.
Take all their fucking scientists.
Hey, we'll take whatever you got. What would be cool to go to Russia is to go and dig up like a woolly mammoth out of the. That would be kind of cool.
That would be so fat.
Did I send you that Joe Rogan podcast where the guy up in Canada, I think it's Canada or Alaska, where they found like meat off of it and he ate some of it.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know if that would have been my first go-to.
Right.
But
That's like, I'm like, dude, that's.
But if you cook it,
it's like, yeah. I don't even. Did they cook it?
Shit gets freezer burnt.
That's what
it
was like perfectly preserved or something. There's like on this little because he's like a gold miner or some shit.
That's kind of a cool job.
And for some reason on his patch of land, there's like just a fuck ton of animal bodies. like that are like perfectly frozen. Like they fucking like all instantaneously got covered up.
Damn.
It's really some real weird shit.
Yeah. I mean, the Earth's gone through some crazy
events, right?
Yeah.
Washing machine cycle.
Well, to go along with women and their facial discrimination, I was talking to a friend of mine today, and I didn't look a lot of this up because I think it's a lot of opinion, but you can maybe find some evidence for some of it. How do you feel about stay-at-home moms? I was sent, not directly, but indirectly, a video about how a guy was like, I'm fucking tired of hearing these women talking about how stay-at-home moms is the hardest job ever. And I lost my job and I was a stay-at-home dad for 3 months and it was the fucking best time ever. I can go to work for 8 hours and come home and do fucking everything it takes to take care of a house.
That's just a douchebag.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And like this guy that sent it to me was
the guy that doesn't appreciate his mother.
Well,
right.
But it's like, well, one.
So it adds up.
Yeah. Well, and the guy was like, being a stay-at-home mom is a privilege. While I may agree with that,
I don't know if it's a privilege. Sacrificing having your own individuality, having your own fucking like independence, essentially, right? Because you're basically, a dependent.
Yeah, and
at that point,
and he was saying like, I
don't know.
All you got to do is watch your kids, make sure they don't hurt themselves,
and then fucking fuck that. I'll go to work all day,
and then at a certain age they can take care of themselves. And I think it's definitely a spectrum, because I think there are people that could be stay-at-home parents and even still hire a nanny. Yeah,
it's so weird, right? It's such a fine line.
Yeah, for somebody to say that about like all relationships. I think that broad stroke.
Oh yeah. Well, anytime you speak in broad I think it generalities, you're just like you're gonna miss.
I think it speaks to how much you don't understand.
Right. Oh yeah, for sure.
Because yeah, there's so I mean, look at Melis's old lady. She literally schools their kids. And
see, that's like ideal though.
Yeah. And I just think that's so much work. Yeah.
Fuck.
to never be off the clock.
Yeah, dude, just like, man.
And the guy was like, you can't go to a regular job and fucking watch TV and take naps. And so I commented on it, and I was like, me watching this video after I woke up from my work nap. But it's like, it's just so, I feel ignorant.
Oh, definitely. It's definitely 100% ignorance, right?
And that's the problem with social media.
Yes.
And somebody's going to see that video and believe it and fucking use that.
Well, that's the problem with fucking
in an argument.
Social media. It's just people throwing up, hitting pop flies up, right? And people run out and catch them, right? That's, you run out and comment on it or something. You know what I mean?
You're every player on the team, and you're doing everything perfect.
Yes, exactly. You know better. You know right.
Yep.
No, fuck.
Yeah.
That's why I try to stay off social media. I've never really been one to comment or get involved on social media ever.
Yeah. I try to keep things funny and fun. I try to watch funny videos, cat videos. I heard this conversation on Fox News. I didn't get the lady was a judge, but it's like some sort of like 5-person round table. The guy on there whose name I did get was Greg Gutsfield, if you've heard of him. I've heard the name. I don't know too much about him. But they were talking about how the war on drugs, and then this gal on there was talking about how drug dealers need to be made a terrorist organization so that we can go into Mexico and deal with them like we do terrorists. And this
dude, that's where all the good drugs come from, dude.
And this Greg Gutsfield guy was talking about how he's done a lot of research, and I'd like to maybe look up some more stuff maybe he's done. But it comes down to a matter of making them legal to be able to regulate them. Yeah. So that if you get a pill off the street, that you know it's not 80% fentanyl and 20% cat tranquilizer. You know what I mean?
Some regulation to it, I guess. Yeah.
And so this gal was talking about how they need to just cut it off at the root and go take out these drug cartels. And this guy was like, well, couldn't you say the same thing for them? Like, why shouldn't they be able to come in and bomb us because bomb all of our gun manufacturing plants because of all the guns that go down there to the cartels?
Yeah.
And she said some dumb shit like, well, guns aren't waking up and then saying, I'm going to go kill people today. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, well, they are just tools of destruction.
Yeah, and so are drugs. Yeah. Some of them, at least.
Some of them.
But even the legalization and regulation of these street drugs, I'll call them.
Like Portugal, right? Is that Portugal that did that, or?
I don't know. We can take a look at it for the next episode.
Yeah. There's some country that legalized everything and
Amsterdam
put all their money into rehabilitation as opposed to
which is one thing. Like marijuana is legal in Illinois,
right?
And all that money is going straight to the government, and it's probably not getting used to fund other things.
No, I thought that was part of it, is that the schools were supposed to get that money or some
really
bullshit. Yeah,
I like that.
You'd have to look into it.
Well, that just...
It's all a racket, though.
Yeah, that goes my inherent distrust for the government.
Yeah, because when I was at Silvis, Rod Blagojevich came to our school and promised us a new school.
See how that got you.
It didn't happen until like 15 years later. Because now they do have a new school, but it just took a long-ass time.
But like I was saying, even the legalization and regulation, in my opinion, is still just a Band-Aid for the war on drugs. I think it comes down to why people are wanting to do so many of these drugs, and I think that comes down to like the minimum wage crisis and the housing and rent crisis and the education student loan debt.
Is it possible that humans just do drugs?
Well, I think these drugs are designed for a lower class person.
Somebody
who's been beaten down. Mushrooms, pot, ayahuasca,
they're
peyote.
All spiritually enlightening.
They're natural.
Right.
These meth, crack.
Ooh, good shit. Heroin.
These are all drugs that are manufactured to be cheap.
And they are kind of weird, chemically processed bullshit, right?
Yeah. And I think you have a population that's 99%.
Isn't it like made to fucking be addictive and fucking like
the what was that, the crack epidemic or whatever against black people or whatever?
Right.
Yeah.
People were just going out and making it and selling it to
and I think
communities on purpose, right?
Wasn't the government like flying it in and like distributing it?
Probably
in
those fuckers.
Underprivileged areas.
I wouldn't put it past them. Yeah, no. I think you're right, though. It's all horse shit.
Yeah. I think...
I don't know. I don't think you're ever going to get drugs away from people because I think it's just part of people, but...
Allow them to have better drugs for their bodies. Drugs that don't lose your teeth.
Right. Yeah, no. I'm picking up what you're throwing down.
Another weird thing I ran into was there's a bunch of weird child labor stuff going on.
Oh, yeah.
Where a McDonald's in Louisville, Kentucky had hired I heard they were two 10-year-old kids to work at their McDonald's. And then I had also heard that there were multiple 14 to 15-year-old kids working at multiple McDonald's around the area. And 14, 15, I don't know if it's a terrible time to be getting a job.
You're pretty grown at that point.
Yeah, but they had them doing like fries and working with like big vats of hot oil.
Hey, dude, I've worked fries. You're not going to get any sympathy from me.
Yeah. And I definitely understand where they're coming from with having kids do that. And now, like, where's it go? The Koch family, Iowa Restaurant Association, and even Hy-Vee have donated like $1 million to pass, or they donated like $1 million to like lobbying over the past couple of years. And it had to have obviously started before COVID, but I wonder if they're really trying now to get kids who are younger. Money means a little bit different to them. $10 is different to my kid than us, you know? So for them to be working minimum wage, there's, you know, the owners or operators or whatever are getting this work for the same value.
Yeah.
That low minimum wage.
Well, I think it's really just falls down to a labor shortage. I think that's our real problem.
And I agree with that, but I think it's not that people don't want to work. I think it's they don't want to do bullshit work for bullshit money.
Right. It's hard to find a job that's meaningful and aligns with your values, right?
I mean, if you're gonna be fucking hot and sweaty over a grill, maybe you deserve more than $7.50.
Well, dude, people are making more than $7.50 nowadays.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've looked at the old Quickstar applications lately, but they're making like $17 an hour, dude.
Quickstar is a good place to work.
I'm like,
I've heard.
Lauren was like, dude, I'm fucking wiping ass for less money right now.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude. So
that is the problem.
That is her job is a real job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, she's taking care of your fucking grandparents. You know what I mean? In there every day, you know, having a social relationship with them, making sure that, you know, that they're...
When you won't go to see your
dude, that's the thing,
grandparents.
dude. That's, oh my God, fucking people, dude. Oh. And people pay like $6,000 a month for their parents to live there.
And Lauren sees $900 of that.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Fucking pennies, bro. Those places got to be raking in the cash, dude.
Does she have a certificate?
She's got a nursing degree.
I wonder if she could start her own thing. But then you probably got to be insured or else somebody's going to sue the fuck out of you.
Well, that's the thing, dude. I was looking about starting
hospice in your lower dupe.
Exactly. You can do that.
Really?
You go on YouTube right now, and that is like now the hottest thing is setting up homes for in-home hospice care.
Damn.
Because you can obviously, if, you know, like a flat type of living arrangement where there's no stairs, you can like buy ones more specific for elderly people and just rake in the cash.
They got all that fucking insurance.
Well, they got insurance money. They got, obviously Social Security, but they're on that limited fucking wage. But it's like, dude, they're still state aid, and
let them keep fucking $10
it's so ridiculous
to their grandkids.
YouTube videos out there to make money on.
Yeah.
In home.
I like the ones where it's like a 15-year-old kid and he gets out of the Lamborghini and he's like, let me tell you how you can make $1 million a year.
Yeah, dude. Like
ring that bell.
Yeah, I already subscribed.
Subbed it.
Yeah, some of those videos are fucking cringe.
Well, and then, so back to this labor shortage thing, or child labor thing. Iowa is trying to pass a bill now. And I can't remember when this was. And
I think they did pass it.
Okay. So it was where 14 to 17-year-old kids can work on, like, construction job sites.
Mining?
I
swear mining was one of them, too.
And I can understand some of the thinking. If you can get some fucking 14, 17-year-old kids working with their hands and learning
for minimum
a trade,
wage, fuck them, dude.
Well, learning a trade, and then by the time they're 18 and can work full time, they're like a union member or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I have a buddy whose kid is about to be 18, and she doesn't know what she's doing. And I was just like, get that fucking kid into be an electrician.
Oh yeah,
fucking
for
pipe
sure.
Fitter.
Electrician's not bad.
Yeah.
Right. That's a good gig.
But
make a lot of money.
It's just so funny how, like, you can say they're trying to loosen child labor laws, and that can just mean so many things, and I'm not supporting it.
They're just opening it up for some sketchy jobs, that's all. You might get killed in a mine, so what? We need to compete with China.
Build guns in the fucking classroom.
In China?
Oh, but speaking of guns in the classroom.
Oh boy, here we go.
This was a couple of years ago, but Texas was trying to pass a bill to have children learn how to stop gunshot wounds.
Okay.
This was after Uvalde.
Uvalde, what is that?
That was like one of the bigger shootings in a school where, like, the guy goes in.
Yeah.
All the people are fucking just standing around.
And the little fucking lady drives there from like 20 minutes away, runs inside. Police stop her. She runs and escapes, runs inside, gets her kid out herself.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
those Uvalde fucks. Those Uvalde fuckers.
So, like, it's in Texas, so they're obviously not going to pass any gun laws.
Oh no.
So one woman went to some surgeons and stuff to kind of put together a class for I can't remember if it was as young as 7th grade or 7-year-old. It had to be 7th grade to be able to learn how to do tourniquets and put pressure on wounds and stuff.
Oh, dude, that's good.
and it's another one of those things. Like, I guess if the government's not going to do anything, you have to learn how to do something. You know,
that's kind of the American spirit that I feel like we've kind of gotten away from. Right?
Teaching kids how to be field medics?
No, just taking care of yourself.
Yeah. Being
your kids self-sufficient.
Everybody needs to start buying their kids bulletproof backpacks.
Just not relying on the government or someone to take care of you is something that I feel like the American people maybe this is part of the communist plan to make Americans soft, to fucking crumble us from the inside. But
it's working.
That's what I'm like. The American people have become soft.
Well, and I think that's part of TikTok.
What do you mean?
Put flashing videos in front of people, political videos to
instigate. Ooh,
separate,
yes.
instigate. Funny videos, so you never want to put your phone down.
Right.
People recording for what's it called when you, like, influence, you know? So people who have money or can pretend to have money showing themselves in Lamborghinis, on yachts, and so these other kids feel super inadequate, so they start fucking...
They have mental health disorders and shit.
Mental health disorders, yeah.
It's all coming together.
That's the way to fucking destroy this country.
Well, we're fucking... God, I forgot what I was just
That is
say.
my biggest support for getting rid of TikTok. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think they should.
Well, I mean, fucking Instagram and
you'd have
YouTube,
Facebook.
and they all have the same upright flip nonstop style content. So you'd almost have to make that style of fucking content illegal.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Ugh.
Yeah, or you can just try to parent your fucking kids, and
yeah, good luck with that.
It is hard.
Good luck. I don't have kids, folks, so take all my
and I do, and it's hard.
Take everything I say with a grain of salt. Yes.
The last thing I looked up, there was another thing, but it was two things. I saw this old movie. This was an interview of a director of a movie from 2006. It was called "Who Killed the Electric Car." You ever heard of that?
Yes, I have.
Where this director, Chris Payne, he was talking about electric cars being introduced in 1996
by GM,
the EV1.
Yep.
So in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, there were laws passed in California that 2% of cars by 1998 would have to be manufactured all electric, and by 2003 they would have to be 10% electric. The EV1 was one of them that was made by GM, and this is just what they were talking about. But the car was only built for lease, and when your lease was up, they would just take the car away from you.
Weird.
And they, from what it sounded like, they would take the car away from you and just destroy it. And there was zero option to buy. They're like, people were asking, like, I would like to keep this car and buy it, and they're like, no.
Well, yeah, it was some weird thing where they took them all, and destroyed them all, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
assholes.
And then there were car companies that were working on hydrogen fuel cell cars, and they met the criteria for California, the regulations California wanted to meet, but the technology for the fuel cells was like 15 years out. So instead of using these cars they already could manufacture and sell them now, they're like, well, this will fix our problem. Keep working on it. And they just pushed everything out. And like all these big oil companies were just kind of skirting by. You know, just a couple more years.
They'll be out. They'll be here.
And then at the same time was when like Hummers came out.
Oh, fuck yeah, bro.
Fucking limousine Hummers.
Fuck yeah, stretch them, dude.
People were buying all sorts of SUVs.
People love their SUVs in America, dude.
Yeah.
They love their V8.
And even I had even heard that tax incentives were given to buy SUVs.
Oh, nice.
So it's like the what do you call it? The the oil companies were probably giving the government, you know,
I'm sure they were lobbying, right?
Here's $50 per car. You know, I'm just using numbers and making up a scenario. Here's $50 per car, and then the government's like, oh, we'll give you $10 per car if you buy one. You know,
yeah, subsidizing it, right?
Yeah. But by the oil company, and then everybody's still making money.
It's a win-win-win.
Yeah. And then, and I wanted to ask you, you'd probably drive a Tesla.
You know, I don't know.
Well, and I guess my question was, if you would, I thought you'd for sure say yes, hell yes. But I
think I would, but I don't know for what. Like, because I enjoy cars, but I mean, I'm sure the thing that they rip. You know what I mean? They're super comfortable.
Okay, so maybe this is a better way to approach it. Teslas are pretty popular now, right?
Oh, saw a ton of Teslas up in Madison, yeah.
Do you think it's because they're electric and good for the environment, or do you think it's because they're branded well?
I think it's because they're good cars.
Yeah?
Like, they're just like, if you just put it out there as a car, it performs well.
Okay.
And I think they look good. The interiors are good. They have good enough build quality. They're safe. Mm-hmm. They like check all the boxes essentially for the American people, and I think that's why they're successful. It's just a good product.
Yeah.
And then I mean, and then obviously they are fucking like that, because I feel like they don't really advertise, do they? Or do they advertise?
I don't see any on TV.
I don't know if I've ever seen it.
Well, and I don't watch TV, but like
I was gonna say the same thing.
I don't see them on Hulu or Netflix or whatever.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if they advertise, but they don't have dealerships. They have direct-to-consumer selling model.
Mm-hmm. I was just talking to somebody about the fuel pumps or whatever you want to call them, the charging stations.
Yeah.
How Tesla is like, yeah, we'll pay for the land it's on, and then they just stop paying a bunch of them, and so they just lock them up. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that.
We were going to Vegas on Route 66, stopped off in this teeny tiny town, and all of their Tesla stations had like big like fucking canvas bags with locks on them, so you couldn't use them.
Oh,
because they weren't paying for the property that they were on.
How about that? Those fuckers, dude.
And I would bet it's because those charging stations weren't getting used.
Yeah, and they were like, suck it, bitch.
Yeah.
Damn, that's shitty, man. That's real shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess not being able to work on it is the main turnoff for me.
Mm-hmm. I can understand that.
Because right now it's like I can just fix my car myself. You know?
Yeah, fucking pull your engine out with one hand.
Yeah, like literally.
Literally,
that motor would be so light compared to fucking that. Because that motor we pulled out of my brother's S10, which was kind of hard to do. That was
what was it?
It was a 4-cylinder.
Okay.
But that 4-cylinder is like a big hefty fucking bore. Like it's probably a fucking.
The cylinder is bigger.
The cylinder is just giant and meaty. Where the piston and bore on the fucking Fiat, dude, is probably the size of that.
Yeah.
In comparison, seriously, it's small.
What was that? The size of my wrist.
It's like it's almost half the displacement. So
okay,
take that for what it's worth.
And what are there like cubic numbers that go along with both of those?
It's like fucking liters is what we go by now.
Oh, okay.
It used to be cubic inches.
Cubic liters.
And
slowly becoming
CCs
communist.
Is what motorcycle motors go by, right? 1,000 cc.
Yeah.
1,500 cc.
What's CC stand for?
It's cubic centimeter.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then so that's just 1,000 cc is just 1 liter.
Okay.
Motor. So
that doesn't seem very big.
A 1 liter?
Yeah.
I mean, my car is a 1.4 liter.
Damn, you.
So it's a pretty.
There's
motorcycles with bigger motors.
Yeah.
Yes, there are.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. That one hog that we saw all the time at work when we were walking.
Oh, dude, it was so big you couldn't use
both sides.
Yeah, you couldn't use the fucking cruise bars.
No, dude, you'd fucking it'd look real funny riding that thing, right?
Yeah. You're straddling a horse.
I can't even remember what kind of bike that was, but it was a fat hog.
I remember we looked a couple of times.
Yeah, it was a good looking bike. But I'm not a motorcycle guy, but I have like a weird fascination with the way motors are built too. Mm-hmm. So it's like a cross plane versus a flat plane crank, and how they can create a faster or a higher revving motor because they create like a lighter rotating assembly. They have shorter cranks and all that jazz.
I had seen which one is in a motorcycle?
Typically I think they use both, but flat planes I think is what they use in motorcycles.
Okay,
sometimes.
so I had seen one time up at Torque Fest where a truck where the motor was sideways,
a transversely mounted.
Yeah. It was interesting looking.
Well, was it because it had front wheel drive?
No, it was. I think it was like a year that they were just trying something new. You know what I mean?
Because that's weird. Because it's like
and it may have been front wheel drive. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't talk to the guy about it a whole bunch.
So I want to say that's how like Chevy V8s for front wheel drive cars. I think they might be mounted transversely. Yes.
I'm transphobic on my cars.
Nice.
That sounds like a fucking Bud Light car.
Oh god, here we go. I've been purposely not following that.
I saw on the internet a eBay listing of a Bud Light can, and it was like pre-trans.
Oh, nice.
It was like before Bud Light would turn you gay. That's what this is from.
That's awesome.
Well, hey, man, thanks for coming down. And
dude, thanks for having me.
Of course, as always.
Had a good time.
Yes. Love hanging out with you, man. Thanks for listening. Anybody out there?
Yeah, all 4 people. Hey, Dad.
Your dad listens?
I think so.
Oh, dude, I got to ask your dad, or maybe you'd do it for me. I want to fucking trim up my trees, but I'm being told by somebody that I shouldn't do it until, like, closer to winter.
What kind of trees do you have?
I have an oak and a maple and another tree.
Yeah, so I think it's oak trees. You are not supposed to trim them during the summer because
Of bugs.
sap,
Sap.
right, flows out, which attracts bugs.
Oh,
Bugs get in there, kill your tree.
okay. And that's what this other person was telling me.
Yeah.
And I just desperately wanted to do it. And so I needed like a follow-up confirmation.
Yeah, no, don't do that. There's some trees, though, that you can trim right now, so
Okay.
I can get my dad to follow back up on that.
I mean, he's got to be fucking driving around Molina anyway, right?
I can have
Looking
him
at
stop
trees?
by and be like, dude, trim these trees up. What's up?
What's up, yo?
Yeah, no.
Dude, these trees are super on power lines. I need you to trim them up.
No, I don't know if he necessarily goes around doing that, but he might be able to help you out. He might.
But knowing that about the tree, I'll fucking wait. Hopefully I
Just
can do
leave
this
it
winter.
alone.
This fall.
Yeah, you have to wait for it to get cold, basically. Bummer.
Oh, in other news, me and Davey did the 2-year anniversary of the Jam Show.
Of
the Blue Ribbon Lounge.
Blue Ribbon,
podcast.
this is the Jam Show.
Oh, that's
folks.
Right. And you know what? I wanted to talk about this earlier, but we'll just end with it. We did a Zoom with our biggest fan, Cam, and the audio was atrocious.
Oh, no.
But, dude, it felt really good to do the best I could. I did make it better.
He made it work.
I made it better.
Oh.
But I just put it out there because that's what that podcast is about. That's what this podcast
You're just
is
getting
about.
it done, dude. You're doing it.
Doing it, being with you.
Doing it, dude.
Being with you out there listening.
He's putting out content. Look at this guy. He's doing it.
I'm hanging out with my friends. I'm doing the things I love.
No, it's cool. I enjoy it. You know what we forgot to talk about? My sink or my drain situation at the dupe. So the top unit shower leaking water straight through the ceiling into the bottom. That's what that video was, right?
Straight through. How was it leaking through?
So what it ended up being, I'm pretty sure, was the drain. I don't know if you've ever disassembled the drain for a bathtub.
I've never done it personally, but I have seen them in various stages.
So essentially, it's just like two threaded pieces that sandwiches the tub to whatever drain you're using, and it basically seals it off if it's doing its job. And the drain the drain that I had, I essentially was able to unloosen it with just like my hand. So it was like hand tight. So, and then there was no gasket around it. So
they probably wear away, right?
Well, it was like pipe or a plumber's putty or something like that.
Which is the old shit. There's
right, and
silicone
you could tell it was
now.
degraded and it had been leaking. So fingers crossed that's all it was. But
how did you get to the bottom side? Cut a hole?
No, when you first walk in, the bottom dupe, right inside the door to the right, there's an access panel.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Gee, that's so fucking nice.
So I was so worried I was going to have to cut open the whole ceiling and shit, dude.
I'm almost surprised they don't make it where you have like a tool that grabs the top part and you pull it up and twist it.
That's exactly what it was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's rad.
Yeah. But that's what I was going to say is I was able to inspect from the backside though too.
That's nice.
Right?
Because I mean, without knowing how it worked, you'd never would have known.
Exactly. But anyway, thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, have a good one.
Later. Which reminds me, I need to bring up that article I was telling you about.
Oh, which reminds me, I need to go get my phone at all.
Pies.